Hi there, it's Saturday the 29th of October 2016. My name's Andy Rowe. I run a website called trendfollower.co.uk, and in this short video I'm going to have a look at the different asset classes that I like to assess each week and see whether I need to do anything on Monday. But before I do that, let me just say one thing. I'm not a financial advisor. I just talk about what I do in my investing. I don't know what your situation is, so don't take this as financial advice. All I'm doing is telling you what I do. So please take the video in that spirit, and I hope you enjoy the video. So what I do is to divide my investment pot into different slices and decide whether I want to be in or out of that asset class. There are 5 asset classes that I look at: shares, property, gold, commodities and bonds. And I use a very simple timing system to decide whether I want to be invested in that asset class or whether I want to be in cash. And when the price of the asset class rises above a certain figure, then I make an investment and I will stay invested until that price falls below a certain price, at which point I will exit and turn the investment into cash and hold it in cash until such time as the price rises up through a line in the sand, if you will, that tells me that sentiment has changed again and that the public are interested in investing in this asset class. So it's a very simple asset allocation system, but with timing. So let's have a look at the first asset class this week and see if I need to do anything on Monday. So I'm going to look at shares, and I keep my little slice of money that's invested in shares in a certain fund, and I like to look and see how the fund's doing. So this is the weekly price of the fund, and you can see it's come down just a little bit this week compared to a couple of weeks ago, but it's still well above the green line, which is what makes me decide whether to be in or out of it. So I'm staying in, and that's fine. I don't need to do anything on Monday. And now if I look at the slice of my investment funds that are allocated to property. Here's the graph of the property fund that I use. This has been very difficult. Really this year it's been very choppy. Past few weeks the price of this fund has been falling, but at the moment the price is still above this green line, so I'm staying invested, but I'm a little bit nervous because I think, gosh, when it comes to this time next week, where is the graph going to be? Will it be below this green line, which will tell me that I have to turn my investment back into cash? That's happened already this year a couple of times, you can see that, but I don't want it to happen again, because that's what costs trend followers money, is these sideways moving choppy markets. This is the sort of graph I like to see, a nice strong trend. That is my friend, of course. Okay, let's look at gold, and if I look at the fund that I invest in of gold, I use a slightly different calculation for the line, hence I've put it in a different color, and you can see where the trigger was for me to invest my money. It was back here earlier in 2016, and it's been a bit up and down. A couple of weeks ago it was really quite down, but a week or so ago it rose up again. This week it's gone slightly sideways, but it's above this this red line, so I'm very happy to stay invested in gold. So that's great. And commodities, so the fund that I use here, you can see the graph of it had been doing very badly until the beginning of 2016, at which point it began to rise. It came up through the green line. This was my signal for me to invest, and it's done very well. And this week it's done very well again, so it's at a new high for 2016, and this green line is rising, which tells me that the trend is upwards, and that's what I like to see. So hopefully this will go up a long way and be a good fruitful investment for me. Now the last asset class is bonds, and I don't trend trade bonds because they crisscross their line too much. So what I do is have my money invested in 3 different denominations of bond funds. They're exchange traded funds actually, so one in pounds, one in euros and one in dollars, and I just hold them. So I don't do anything with those funds. I just leave them be and hope that they do well and give a little bit of diversity to my investment. So that's it. So I don't need to do anything this week. It's all nice and easy. My only concern is that my property investment seems to be going the wrong way. No signal for me to exit it yet, but I worry that maybe in a week's time I will have a signal to exit. So it'll be very interesting to have a look at the graph next week. So make sure you join me next week and have a look at the graph and see what the graph's telling me. So have a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye for now.